Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. We are in the Brownstone Worldwide studios talking to some amazing folks for the entire month of November. However, today, I have the honor of being graced with the presence of Marc Weber, model and actor of an new film that is coming out on Anya Films. You guys are going to have an opportunity to get a chance to see it. He's the lead character in a new movie called Colorblind. And we're here to talk to Mr. Weber and find out what in the world this film is about and how he got to be a part of this amazing production. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and bring Mr. Weber up to the screen so we can get to talking to you. How are you?
Hello there, everyone, and hello there, Miss Clark. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. Listen, I don't want to waste any of your time.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a bunch of that already. That's a sidebar because it's been a busy day. And we had some technical difficulties, but since we've gotten through that, let's go ahead and get right into it. So you're part of a new film called Colorblind, and you play what part in that film?
I play the role of Bradley L. Chapman. He's the main villain, the big bad of the movie, and it is he's quite a character.
That's really? Sure. Okay. So when you say the lead character, he's the big bad villain. So without giving too much of the film or the movie away, what exactly is Colorblind about, and where does your character come into play?
So Colorblind, the director, Michael Stephen Paul, his moniker is Mikey J. He initially asked me this question as well as several others, what does colorblind mean to you? Mm-hmm. And my first response to it is that you don't see color like the skin color on a person. You see their soul. You see them for the person that they are.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was. And my character, Bradley, he's not colorblind. He does see color. He is probably I'm not sure if this is going to come to fruition, but he may end up becoming one of the most narcissistic, racist, bigoted characters put on film. He is.
Wow.
And he's unapologetic about it.
Oh, wow. So listen, then I have a question for you. What was that like for you filming that?
It was a very amazing experience, an eye-opening experience, really, because there's just so much more to the movie making process than rehearsing lines, showing up to set, performing a few scenes, and that's it. The amount of things that go on behind the camera is insane. Every film production is a logistical nightmare, but you know what? That makes it fun. That makes you realize holy crap.
It's a lot.
This is the juice right here. This is the stuff that it wakes you up in the morning, because then it's oh, I have no idea what the heck's gonna happen today, but I got a smile on my face. I got a job to do.
Yeah. I get it. And so playing the part of someone who is on camera, you have to turn into this person who is a narcissist, who is a racist by all accounts, according to what we've been talking about here, and playing in this film. Did you have to dig deep for that? Or were you just kind of you know what, I've seen this played out before, or I might have been exposed to it, so it was easier for you to play the role? And here's another question for you. How hard is it for you to turn it off once you're done with your day, doing any kind of shooting or filming or whatever? What's that been like for you?
It was honestly a very easy pair of shoes for me to fill. It's because I'm a traditional Christian man, and I always believe in the saying, knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you can do. Well, I like to consider myself a good person, but I let the world, and especially the Most High, to judge me on that.
I love
it. But it's because I have such knowledge of what is good in this world, what really is good. That also means that I have knowledge of what really is evil. And if I apply that knowledge, the more I know of good, the more I know of evil, I can figure out, all right, what makes a person bad, sinful, villainous, wicked. It's rather easy for me to step into the roles of Bradley L. Chapman. And I guess that's the reason why the director, Michael Stephen Paul, Mikey J, is his moniker, as I said, that's the reason why he said that my iteration of this character is the most sinister, narcissistic, and just like just straight up. He just really doesn't care. He is evil just for the sake of being evil. Like he
Wow.
takes pleasure in it.
Wow. Oh, wow. So, wow, that would wear me out. First of all, as a creative, I think we all kind of have that moment where we have to learn how to separate the actual character from who we are. So let's take it back just a little bit further, shall we? You guys are shooting, and you're actually what some people would say you're on location, and you guys are shooting not in Hollywood, you're not shooting in Atlanta, you're not shooting in New York, and so you're in Middletown, USA, and you're shooting. And what has that been like for you, being that my assumption is, and I could be wrong, that you may be from this area? Have you been sharing your experiences with the folks in your area, and is this something that you have wanted to do for some time?
Yeah, so we're filming currently in Cincinnati, Ohio. Filming is scheduled to be wrapped up real soon. And yeah, it really was like, kind of an interesting thing, because I remember as a kid, I'm thinking like, I have no business, like, in Cincinnati, let alone like you say, Northern Kentucky. But,
Right.
As God's plan goes, you never really know what's going to happen. And, having to like learn the road network around Cincinnati, know where the shooting locations are at, what's the fastest way to get there when traffic is backed up on one of the main highway veins. I mean, it just like you become like a little bit more aware of the world that you're in, especially if it's a city that you're having to film a movie in, because you could have like, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7, 8 different like filming locations, and you can like you go to these places so often, so frequently, that you know exactly where they are, and you don't even need like Google Maps or anything. Like you know where you are and how to get there in the most time efficient way possible. It really is an incredible experience, even if it is not necessarily the most exciting. Like, oh, I'm just driving down the highway and through a few back alleys to get to this one, like, random location behind, like, a grocery store. But, like, that's part of the story. Like, sometimes even the most interesting stories happen when the camera is not rolling. You can honestly make a movie about the stuff that happens when the camera is turned off.
Oh, all of the outtakes, all the things that end up on the cutting room floor. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so what do you see yourself doing after this is completed? Because of course, there will be the promotions, which this is a part of, right? So this is going to help to attenuate and get information out about who you are. And of course, the film itself, which again is called Colorblind on Anya Films. So when this is all over with, what are your plans for Marc Weber?
My current plans is to just build up my resume even more for like this area in the Midwest, like you say, like the Cincinnati tri-state or like the Midwestern area in general. Possibly reach out to the bigger markets like up in Chicago or in New York, because those are the closest ones, and just to hopefully land a few solid gigs there, and just like build up a resume and a reputation for myself, because I want to become very successful in this industry. And I know that I'm beyond blessed to have been given a lead role in a movie of this caliber, like, early on. So I can't ever forget that. I must never forget that blessing. But I really want to go after and conquer the world. Like, that's the same thing that Dwayne Johnson said many years ago when he asked like agent like what he wanted to do with his career, and kind of like I want to do the same thing he did, but just my way.
Okay.
Which even more emphasizes the point more why I can't forget like where I came from and who I'm working, like the people and the faces that I see right now. I gotta give them credit. I gotta really like thank them more than I could ever thank them, because this stuff is like, it's just real. Like, this gives you purpose and meaning in life. It brings you happiness.
Absolutely. And therein again lies that portion of ourselves where we are our most creative. And I think that just talking to you, I think I'm like, okay, so now he said that Bradley is a little evil. And I'm looking at the picture. So I'm looking at the photo. So for those of you all who don't know, I'm looking at my phone right now, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm looking at a photo of what looks like the main characters, and then Mikey J, and so I'm looking at this and I'm like, that doesn't look like the same person that I'm looking at here. So it looks like you know how to portray your character even when you're not trying to. So you got skill. You got skill. That takes skill to do that. Now, is this film set in any specific time era, or is this just in the 2000s? Is it?
It's honestly kind of a funny story about that. Me and a former you could say like a current co-star of mine. We worked on an ultra low budget micro indie film down in Louisville, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
We was talking like, what's the setting of this place? Like, what's the time frame?
Mm-hmm.
And we initially gauged it, like we pinpointed it to be somewhere in like the early 90s, like around maybe 1992, 1993 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But considering the fact that you do see smartphones and tablets in this movie, it would like make sense. Like, oh, is it taking place like currently, like right now today?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you really pay attention, you'll notice a few continuity errors like that. But I would say definitively, if I wanted to just go off my gut reaction,
Mm-hmm.
I would say I'm just going to say that it's modern day, just because of the technological devices that are showing up.
Awesome. And so, does he win or lose in the end? Can you at least give us that, or does he just walk away licking his wounds?
I would say, by and large, he loses. He loses. Like, there's an old saying, like, he loses the war, but I think he won the last battle. It's because this is a phrase that I came to realize with my own personal experiences in life, is that sometimes in order to win, you have to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And he does at the end. And the moment in the movie, like, this is probably going to be the absolute most, like, this is going to be the heart and the soul of the movie, is that there is a moment where Bradley, everything changes for him. And they all see that. And as soon as you see like that image on that screen, because I saw the B-roll footage of it, I was thinking like, that right there is what the movie is all about. And the thing is, there's no dialogue. It's just an image as the camera's. That's all there is. And that is where this movie's that's where the life of this movie is right in that one moment that lasts like 4 or 5 seconds.
And sometimes that's all you need to portray, to convey the image and the message. And so you said that you're looking to make your mark in other places in film and moving around to maybe Chicago and all of these other places. And so the last thing I want to definitely say to you is congratulations, because first of all, it takes chutzpah, okay, and some to think about it. So let's look at this in perspective. So I'm assuming, like I said before, because I don't know, that you are from this area and you have made a decision that you are going to go into film, and somehow it literally sounds like it fell in your lap. I would find that to be quite serendipitous, of course. And so knowing this, and the gift that this is ultimately with all of this, what words of advice would you give someone who would think that how in the world could this possibly happen for me, when clearly it's happening for you?
I would say that you just need to know what makes you happy in life. If it brings a smile to your face and you could do it for free or even be paid millions of dollars for it, and if the money, regardless, if it still makes I would say that my biggest piece of advice is that it has to first make you happy. And if you apply what makes you happy, do the thing that scares you the most, because then you know that it's right. I could have been anything. I initially went to University of Cincinnati to be a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
I could have been a pharmacist, a doctor, an engineer, an astronaut. I'm smart. I know I could have applied myself. But the thing is, none of those things scared me. Acting is what scared me. And it was acting that brought me happiness when I was doing stage performances back in high school, just the smiles and the cheers and the applause of the audience in that auditorium at Lawrenceburg High School. It was just, it almost felt like I wasn't even on planet Earth anymore. It felt like I was in heaven. And I was thinking
I love
this is what brings me happiness. And so I figured, you know what? Life is life. And if you believe in God, you can do just about anything and he will bless you. So I just trusted my gut. I trusted in him. And I wanted to go after what scared me. I wanted to face it down, because then I could conquer that fear.
I love it. I love it. So, Marc Weber, let's talk about where we can find you. Now, I have that information because I know we're wrapped for time. We're actually strapped for time. We can find you on social media on Instagram at M_K_Weber. That's where we can find you and get more information about you. Number one, go ahead and follow him, ladies and gentlemen. And also make sure that you get more information about the film. You can see there's a poster that's already up, and I'm sure you're going to be sharing more information as editing and the release date and all of that is available to you. Is that right?
Absolutely, ma'am. And just to clarify with the social media, the M, the K, and the W are all lowercase.
All lowercase. So see, I got that wrong.
Yep, okay. There you go. I just wanted to clarify.
No problem.
All lowercase.
All right, good. No problem. All right, so all lowercase. And I'm going to go ahead and change that right now, and then I'm going to share it once again so that we are able to get the right information to folks, okay? And again, M_K, all lowercase, and the W as well are all lowercase. We're going to go ahead and save that, and we're going to pop that right back up there so you can see it.
There we
social
go.
media M_K_Weber. That's where we can find Mr. Weber and everything that you have going on. So listen, you're going to be one of the features in Brownstone Living Magazine for the hip hop issue. And the biggest reason why is because of the history that goes behind Mr. Mikey J and his career in hip hop. But of course, you are also a part of that as well, as hip hop continues to change and evolve and become the culture that everybody in one way or another is involved in or has been impacted by. So we want to thank you so much. Yep, go ahead.
My phone is at 1% low battery mode, which means I've probably got less than 60 seconds before I cut off of this thing. So I'm just giving you all in the audience a heads up that if I cut out suddenly,
it's okay. We're wrapping up now. We're wrapping up now. Mm-hmm. Yep. And so listen, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you, and we can't wait to see you in this upcoming movie, Colorblind. Have a great one, Marc.
You too, Miss Clark. And thank you too, audience. We appreciate you.
All right. You take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, everybody. So be sure to be on the lookout for the upcoming movie. And also anything that's happening with Mr. Weber at M_K_Weber on social media. We'll see you around.